Hi, I'm Alex Backrack, publisher of Architectural Record. Welcome to our podcast channel. Today I have with me Tim Nass, who has over 25 years of experience in the architectural glazing industry. As the Vice President of Sales at SAFTI FIRST, leading USA manufacturer of fire-rated glass and framing systems, he brings his extensive knowledge and expertise when working closely with architects, consultants, general contractors, and glazers to deliver a code-compliant glazing solution that meets all the aesthetic, performance, and budget requirements of the project. Tim also oversees SAFTI FIRST's global network of architectural sales representatives. And Tim is the host of Tim Talks, relevant topics on fire-rated glass and framing, on SAFTI FIRST's YouTube channel. He also answers your most pressing questions on fire-rated glass through Ask Tim at safti.com, and that's SAFTI.com, and shared through SAFTI FIRST LinkedIn company page. Tim, nice to have you aboard. I have a quick question for you. Last year, SAFTI FIRST did a campaign on biggest is best, and you were alluding to architects demanding increased transparency in fire-rated areas. What do you think is driving this, and how is SAFTI FIRST responding to it?
Well, I think the architectural community is trying to maximize transparency to the greatest extent possible and limiting intermediate framing members. And we've seen this in general conversations from an industry perspective, but also in meetings with design teams on specific projects. And so I look at some of the products that we've introduced in the last 12 to 18 months. Our product Superlight 2XLB, which is a 60-minute fire-resistive glass product that was designed specifically for large clear views. It has a 125 by 80 inch maximum dimension. It's rotational, meaning in either direction. That's 10,000 square inches of clear view. That's a massive piece of glass, even if it isn't fire rated. So SAFTI FIRST has continued to listen to the design community, looking for ways to provide the architects with a code-compliant product that meets or exceeds the aesthetic requirements for their particular project. So the Superlight 2XLB 60-minute is designed for butt glazed or captured applications, but again, with large clear views, minimizing any intermediates and really limiting the framing to the perimeter of the glass. We also have partnered with that, our 2XLB 120-minute glass, which is good for up to 120 minutes. And we see clear views of 7,980 square inches or 133 by 60. So we've taken that demand for more glass, less frame to heart. And we're developing products every day for these types of applications. So we're involved in some really exciting projects. One that was just released last month, February of 2021 in Vancouver, British Columbia, with CRB Architects out of Emeryville, California. And it is for advanced biologic stem cell up in the northwest part of Canada. And they have a significant amount of 2-hour curtain wall interior, enclosing stairwells and other areas of this particular property. Large lights of glass, 10, 11 feet tall, without any intermediate vertical framing member. So this is what the architect was striving, and to enhance the clarity of the product even further, they chose low iron glass. So we've developed these products that can incorporate standard tempered glass or low iron for maximum clarity, large clear views, minimizing framing members. This is really the direction the industry's going, and I don't see them going backwards. So it's incumbent upon us to be in lockstep with the design community and a little bit ahead to try to anticipate where we think they're going to go and what we think or feel they're going to need down the road.
You know, Tim, you talk a lot about large format glass and large glass sizes. Besides the framing, are there other areas where fire-rated glass can have an impact on the project?
Well, that's a good question, actually, to dovetail right in with glass and framing as entrances. So doors play a huge role in fire-rated assemblies. And like what we're seeing with fixed glass and framing, the architectural community also likes to see doors that have an aesthetic appeal. So Safety offers a wide range of doors rated from 20 to 120 minutes, 180 minutes. There are aluminum steel doors, there are clad doors. And interestingly enough, we're seeing the demand for large doors in the fire-rated market segment as well. So, today it's not uncommon to help an architect design a narrow style 4-foot by 10-foot door. That's difficult enough to manufacture in non-rated aluminum storefront. Now consider that to be a 90-minute temporized door in a vertical shaft or an exit enclosure. Entrances often make the first and last impression to a building, and the architects want to make sure that it is communicating the right message. So, it's no longer flush doors. It's no longer doors with a small vision light. It is full glass doors, narrow style, architectural finish, large, again, eliminating transoms where possible. And so Safety First, actually added a door facility to its manufacturing prowess. And that's something that we have been continuing to enhance and grow over the last 5 to 6 years. So we have a facility dedicated strictly to the fabrication of entrance systems, highly automated, and the capabilities are significant. So again, it could be formed steel, it could be aluminum, it could be clad with stainless or brass. And we're seeing that regularly, particularly, again, not to be too New York centric, but the transportation market segment, a lot of stainless steel, a lot of brass clad doors that are full light, full vision lights, and temporized to boot. So those are high traffic areas that make a big impression on commuters or visitors like myself who, when they come to New York, get awestruck and end up staring and walking into people in columns and things like that. But, we're seeing that demand translate over to the door market segment as well.
That's great. You mention projects often, and I'm sure there's times when these projects would benefit from involving the fire-rated glass manufacturer earlier. What types of projects could benefit from getting you guys involved earlier in the design process?
Well, I think when people consider fire-rated, they may tend to associate it with the educational market segment, right? Doors, side lights, protected openings. And that's true. That was the bread and butter for our company for a long time. And then we graduated as codes evolved and the demand for fire resistive assemblies. And as designers started to draw in natural daylighting and the benefits to the building occupant of natural daylight, to attitude, performance, things of that nature, we started to see, it shift away from one market segment to it really went across the board. It was institutional, it was office buildings, it was multifamily housing, and we're even seeing it now get into the protection market. So, we're involved in projects that are detention or secure facilities that want to incorporate fire rated, that want to incorporate products that don't use or rely on wire mesh or surface applied films or anything of that nature because it impairs or impedes someone's vision. And so they want to maximize the clarity. And so when you talk about, products that aren't just fire rated, but also provide some level of security, not only for the building staff, but the occupants as well, those are important conversations to have because they're literally asking, what can I do? Here's what I need. What can I do? And so that's where the conversation usually starts and then evolves from there. And it's really an exciting process. We were involved in a project at Rikers Island. There's some significant upgrades going on to a couple of different buildings at Rikers Island. And STV was looking for the assistance of a fire-rated manufacturer that could provide a product that incorporated secure features and fire resistive qualities. And so As you can imagine, that was a wide-ranging conversation. They had some things that just weren't quite possible yet, but the end result is 120-minute fire-resistive assembly that has significant security, sustained abuse, the ability to withstand undivided attention of an inmate or a patient who his sole goal or purpose is to get out. So those are the kind of features that maybe weren't real prevalent in the early 2000s, but certainly in 2020 and beyond. We're expanding our reach and our influence on the architectural community, on market segments, and in the glazing market segment as well.
So given the fact that your product is all about performance, have you noticed architects starting to demand more testing and performance requirements from fire-rated glass? Are their expectations higher?
Yes, and as we raise the bar, because of their demands, the demands don't cease, right? So they don't start to become satisfied at a certain point. And so one of the interesting things that we've seen is, especially in a place like New York City, where the use of fire-rated products on the exterior skin of the building is pretty commonplace now, just because it's so the dense population base, and really you're limited to 11 square miles or something like that on the island of Manhattan. So you're seeing buildings built close together and or sharing a tax lot, and so we get involved in things like acoustical testing. And in the past, we had done some glass only acoustical testing, and we would have a value, and someone would say, well, what are the acoustical properties? And we'd give them a sheet of paper with a number on it. Today, they say, well, has it been tested in your frame? Yes. Okay. Has it been tested to stop these frequencies? Well, here's the test to show the 1/3 octave band, and here's where it's strong, here's where it's weak. And so they're no longer just accepting generalized information. They're looking for more specific, more focused information. So yes, testing and the demand for testing has increased significantly. CMAST, which is NFRC's computer modeling program, architects are now saying, I want to use a specific glass coating, a specific low E coating, and they'll want to know how it's going to perform when it's incorporated into our fire resistive glass, and how that glass assembly is going to perform within our frame. So then they're no longer saying, I need a U value of around. They're saying, in order to meet the energy code, I need to meet this or better. And so we've developed the tools necessary to do that at the planning or development level, as opposed to after the fact, where everybody's scratching their head going, well, I don't know if we can do this. Maybe if we do this, this will happen. That all has to happen during the design, during the construction document phase, during the kind of the project development stage, and that's upfront and in the promotional process. So the architects are demanding far more from safety than they were even 18 to 24 months ago, and I think it's a good thing, because no one should be given a free pass, or you should assume that it's going to work. They want to know that these products are going to perform in lockstep with the balance of the building envelope that's being used.
Right. Well, makes sense. I mean, that's definitely, you keep raising the bar and they're going to keep wanting more.
Right.
So the fact that Buy America and Buy American products are obviously in vogue right now, how does Safety First address this? Are you guys manufacturing everything in America?
Yeah. So, the previous administration and the current administration have both made Buy America a priority. And it's really been a priority for Safety First for the last, 20 some odd years, and certainly for the last 13 that I've been associated with the company. Our owner, president, CEO, Bill O'Keefe, has long, held firm that, American-made products are, superior in quality and performance. And he has invested a significant amount of money into our manufacturing capabilities. So while we're based in San Francisco, our manufacturing is done in Merced, California, in the Central Valley. And we have 3 separate facilities. We have 2 tempering ovens. We have a automated glass line that uses a robotic arm to shoot a thermoplastic spacer. So we build our units in-house. We own and take ownership of the semi-rigid intumescent interlayer that resides between the lights of glass that gives it its fire-resistive properties. So we mix and pour that compound. So we take ownership of the fabrication of the components. That gives us greater quality control over the end result of the product. And it allows us to do it in a much more efficient manner. So, there are some business advantages to our vertical integration and owning the entire process as opposed to buying and reselling. So those were the things that Bill really wanted to instill in the organization. So he invested a lot in our manufacturing capabilities, and he continues to do so today. 2020, no one really saw that coming, right? I mean, even in February of last year, it was sort of business as usual. And then, the brakes were literally pumped in March, and it was a very uncertain time. And he didn't waver. He doubled down on equipment, expansion of our fabrication facilities. He risked a lot to do that. And I think it's a testament to his supreme confidence in himself and our organization, but it's also a part of a long-term strategy, which is, greater control over the process, which results in a better quality product that is done in a timely manner, because commercial construction is all about budget and schedule. If you can't meet the budget, you can't meet the schedule, they don't have a lot of use for you. So, it's an uphill battle to sell fire-rated products in and of itself. And a lot of times it's viewed as a luxury. And, we have to be able to validate the architect's vision and their insistence on incorporating and leveraging these products and their capabilities in their building's design, and make sure that it pays off for them, for the building team, and ultimately for the end user, because, heaven forbid there is a fire or some event where people need to evacuate quickly and safely. Our products are going to promote that. So, last 2020 was a great year for Safety First, but it was also a very uncertain year. And I think we took a lot of, kind of the confidence that Bill had in the company and the future of the company to heart as individuals and as employees to make this happen. And so, it's really put us in a unique position, Alex, and we love talking about it because this is an emerging market segment, and Safety is a really up and coming company, and it has been for, the last, 10 to 15 years, and has become a leader in this market segment, driving, trends and product development and capabilities that have gone beyond, I think, what most people thought were possible in fire-rated, even 5 years ago.
Tim, you mentioned Merced, California. I know there's been a lot of investment in that community lately. Has Safety been involved in any of the projects in Merced?
Actually, yes. And I think the Central Valley gets overlooked a lot because, obviously Southern California and Northern California have 2 massive markets there. But Safety First was fortunate enough to be involved in the expansion of 13 new buildings at the UC Merced campus. But Safety First was specified, listed, and part of the promotional effort for those projects. And we were fortunate to be involved in 12 out of the 13 buildings, the new buildings that went up in Merced. So, we were able to, because of the proximity of the campus to our manufacturing facility, we were able to host a group from the university, from WebCore's team. They were able to tour our facility. We presented information about our capabilities, about the codes and how they could be, the fire-rated products could be leveraged on their particular campus, on their campus in those particular project. So very exciting opportunity for Safety First. We also just got the contract on a United Healthcare facility in Madera, which is just down the road from Merced. Again, working with Turner Construction on a new office facility for United Health, a large benefits provider. But they're developing a new facility in Madera, and Safety First was specified, and we worked closely developing budgets, bidding, and finally awarded that project, I think, first quarter of 2021. So the Central Valley's been good to Safety First. It's been good for Safety First, and we're happy to be a part of that community and help it grow and evolve as well.
Well, thanks, Tim. We appreciated your time today. I think everyone learned a lot. And thanks, Safety First, for sponsoring this episode of Architectural Records Podcast.
Alex, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.